Today we're going to be graphing lines. We're actually going to be using our slope and our y-intercept to actually put the lines onto graphs. So the graph of the equation of y equals mx plus b is a line. The m is our slope. And the y-intercept is always our b. So first we have to make sure our equation is always written in the form of y equals mx plus b in order to use the equation. We want to then identify our slope and identify our y-intercept. First thing you do is you graph the y-intercept on the y-axis, and then we apply our slope, rise over run. Looking at our first examples that we have here, the first example says y equals 2x plus 4. It is already in the form of y equals mx plus b. M is the one that's in front of my x. In this case, it would be 2. That is my slope. B is the one that's over here being added or subtracted. That is 4. To graph my line, I start at the origin and I go up 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a point. That is my y-intercept. I now have to graph my slope. Remember, slope is always rise over run, so we have to have a fraction. If it's a whole number, you just put it over 1. So I'm going to rise 1, 2 places, and then run 1 to the right. I can do that over and over if I need to make sure that I have a nice straight line. Draw a line through them. Arrows on the end indicating that it goes on forever in both directions. And you're done. And problem number 2. It is already in the form of y equals mx plus b. Mx plus b. In this case, my m, my slope, is that number right here, negative 3 over 2. My b is right here. It is negative 3. So to graph this one, I start at the origin and I go down 1, 2, 3 places and place my point. I now need to do my slope. Apply my slope to it, starting at my y-intercept. I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3 places and then run to the left 2 because it is a negative number. I prefer to use the English language because the word rise actually has direction. If you always rise and then run left for negative and right for positive, you will never mess these up. Our next examples. Example number 3. This one is not into y equals mx plus b, so my goal is to get the y by itself to start with. I have to first subtract 2x from both sides, which leaves me with negative 3y equals negative 2x minus 9. Y is still not isolated, so I need to divide every piece by negative 3. So I now have y equals a positive 2/3 x plus 3. I now have my slope, 2 over 3. And my y-intercept, which is 3. I go to my y-intercept of 3. 1, 2, 3 from the origin. Place my point. I apply my slope, so I rise 2 places and run to the right 3. And there's my second point. We have to have 2 points to graph a line. We draw an arrow on the end to show it goes on forever in both directions. Example number 4 here, similar type process. I have to get the y all by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So here I have y is equal to x. My y-intercept is always the number that's in front of x. Well, if there's not one, it's understood that it's 1. So my slope is 1, and my y-intercept is the number being added. In this case, it would be 0. So my first point is going to be located at 0, 0, the origin, where all things begin. I'm going to rise one place and run one place. I can do it a couple of times if I need to. Rise and run. You always rise and run. And then you draw a line through the points. And it's done.